Hi, in this Morigami video, I'm going to teach you how to make this summer star, or starburst as I called it when I taught it this summer at the Origami USA convention in New York. In that class, I promised the participants that I would make this tutorial because I don't have diagrams, and a Morigamian always keeps his promises. So here we are to film today this figure and also the variation of the same. Now, to teach this class, I'm going to be using 6-inch paper that is foil on one side and white on the other. For folding, the first time I recommend paper at least this big, but for future folding, it works really well also with smaller paper. Also with paper that has maybe one color in the center and then changes color as it goes out to the edges. It can look really cool. So, enough talking, let's fold. So thank you for joining me for this Morigami video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did enjoy it and are folding things from this channel, please be sure to like the videos, put commentaries, put links to things you folded, tag me on Instagram, Twitter, wherever, at Morigami Club or hashtag Morigami, either one, and let me know so that I can see the work you've done and maybe share some pictures later on. So and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any videos. So saying goodbye to you from Estudios Urbanos in Monterrey, Nuevo León, Mexico.